Hello, my gorgeous queens. Selfcare Sunday. Okay, I'm trying this new setup. I think this is it. This is it. I hope you guys can hear me pretty well. Let's see. Drink something if you got it. Don't you just love it when you're drinking something that is so fresh and pure? Like a little bit of ginger, a little bit of, what's it called in English? Mint tea, fresh mint tea, love it. So let's start with a quick meditation. If you want to close your eyes, please. You may lie down, you may sit cross-legged, whatever it is that you feel comfortable doing. Breathe in, hold your breath, and breathe out through your nose. Breathe in again. Hold your breath. And breathe out through your nose. And the last time, breathe in. Hold. And breathe out through your nose. I want you to envision this sun, a bowl of sun, and it's located at your solar plexus, just underneath your chest. And the sun is growing and growing and growing until your entire body is engulfed within the sunlight. You are the light, you are the sun. I want to give thanks to our ancestors. I want to give thanks to the Most High. I want to give thanks to you for being here. And I want to give thanks to my spirit and my body, this vessel, for allowing the messages to come through in the highest light, for the highest purpose and the highest good. So help me God. A woman, amen. Let's start. Hello, beautiful creatures. How have you been? It's been a week, right? Last week we had our first Selfcare Sunday, and honestly, it was such a beautiful experience. Thank you guys so much for being present and opening up in the way you did. I'm almost getting emotional because it was such a beautiful moment in time where we spend time together. It was a beautiful sisterhood, and I'm grateful for all the queens that were present. Thank you so much. It was also the first time. How was your week? How have you been? How are you feeling? Last week I started with breath work and meditation, and I told you guys how important it is to connect to our ancestors. It's super important because we need our ancestors. We need their blessings. We need them in our lives. And not only that, if you grow up in the West, there were always other people telling you who you were. Even if you grew up in the diaspora or in Africa, there are always other voices, external voices, the church, or other external influences telling you who you are. And it's really hard to connect to your ancestors and to your ancestral lineage, your cultural gift, right? Your ancestral gift, to connect with that. If you are constantly listening to these outside voices telling you who you are. So the reason why I started Black Soul Tribe is because I am still looking for that root, the root within me, where there's not someone else telling me who the F I am. Okay. And there is this voice within me that has always been there. It has always guided me. It's the whispering voice. When you do something, you're not really supposed to do that, and that voice is like, what are you doing? And it's a whisper, right? And then, for example, you're going out with a friend and it's that last drink that you absolutely should not have taken. And there's that voice that whisper like, stop, 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 stop. You take the drink, you black the F out, and something bad happens. Something really bad. Something that will stick with you for a long time. And you think back about that time, and we never acknowledge that voice, our ancestors that are whispering to us. We never acknowledge that voice. The voice that we do acknowledge is the voice of doubt. And we can call it the spirit of doubt, the spirit of fear. That's what we do acknowledge. You know what I mean, right? So whenever you wake up one day, you're not feeling really well because you haven't slept really well, and then you go to work, and then that nagging voice starts talking to you. Like, you're not good enough. Look at these people. They don't like you. Why are you here? You're wasting your time. It's also a whispering voice, But the difference is that it's not yours. It's not from your bloodline. It's not from your ancestors. It's something else. And the only thing that we are supposed to learn how to do is to keep this vessel, this thing, this vehicle that we got, to keep it as clean as possible, as pristine as possible, because we need to keep that vessel clean to actually hear our ancestral voice. So whenever you are listening to Keeping Up with the Kardashians or watching TMZ or all the drama that's on the news and the TV, I'm not telling you to not watch the news. That's something else. But I'm talking about the lower frequency, the gossiping, the low vibrational foods, the processed foods that you can't even call foods because there's no nutritional value in it. The alcohol, whatever it is that you indulge in, whatever it is that you do, to keep your vessel in this lower frequency. Whatever it is, you know what it is. Every person has something else, but you know what it is, sister. You know it. So whenever you do that, you're opening yourself up for other spirits to enter, other voices to enter. The spirit of doubt, the spirit of fear, the spirit of insecurity, infidelity, the spirit of murder. When people be like, there was this day, let's talk about myself and my journey, right? So I had a lot of work going on. There was a lot going on in my life. I wasn't eating well. I was drinking a lot of alcohol. I was indulging in stuff that wasn't good for my vessel. I was sleeping really, 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 I wasn't sleeping, actually. And I was at work and I had this breakdown where I could just not focus anymore, and I couldn't listen to people, and I couldn't have a conversation. I was so angry and so mad, and I was so freaking exhausted, and I really wanted to cry. And I went home, and I remember sitting in the car driving home, staring into the distance, and then this voice came. And I call it the voice of murder. And the voice came. We can end this. We can end this now. And it scared me because I knew that was not my voice. And I also knew that was not my people's. That was not my ancestors talking to me. That was something else. You know what I mean? And we don't like to talk about this. This is something we don't like to talk about it. In church, they call it the devil, right? It's like the devil, or in Islam, it's like the shaitan. But what if it's just spirits, just like you and I were spirits as well, and they got trapped in this dimension? What if it's not something that is so far away from us? What if it's just a person that got trapped in this loop between space and time and is looking for acknowledgement, and they see someone who's open, the frequency match, and there they go. And now you think it's your voice. Now you're in this space where you think you're the thinker of that thought. You identify with it. And all of a sudden I'm driving home, and I'm like, oh my God, if I would let go of the steering wheel, it could all be over. But it's not me. So what happens? I come home. I take a shower. I take care of my daughter. I give her something to eat. I put her to bed. And you know what I did? I closed everything. Like, I turned off my phone. I turned off my TV. And I lit a lot of candles. And I started looking into the candles. And that's when the answers started to come. It was my form of meditation, right? And I put some music on in the background and I realized, my goodness, high vibrational music, by the way. And I realized, like, I'm not listening to my ancestors at all. I'm completely disconnected, like a root, like a tree without roots, completely disconnected from source, completely disconnected from my lineage. So this is my inner work. What I need to do is not get on that high horse and tell you that you should be vegan, because my ancestors weren't vegan, honey. Okay? So I'm looking at all these spiritual voices. I'm trying to find it into yoga. I'm trying to find it there. I'm going outside of myself to find the answers that lie within. Because my ancestors did some work too. And I am their daughter's daughter, right? I stand on their shoulders. Like, they are surrounding us right now as we speak. So Self-Care Sunday is a moment where we can acknowledge where we come from. And then we can silence the world that is trying to tell us who we are. It's about us finding our tribes, finding the right people. So for example, last week I asked you guys, what role would you play in the tribe? You know, when I talk about self-care, this is also something you should do for yourself. For me, self-care is mediating, talking, channeling. That's self-care. It's a form of self-care. So what do? Throughout the week, I have voice notes with people, with my tribe. That's what I do. When someone has a question, I answer. And it's not me. I'm just a vessel. I just open myself up and I thank everything and everyone for the channel that I am. I can channel good, but I can also channel the worst of the worst. And every single one of us, we are channels. And this is what I mean when I talk about our ancestral lineage and the importance to connect with that. If you're adopted and you're watching right now, you're like, I don't know who my ancestors are. Well, they live within you, honey. So what is it that you feel good doing? Is it cooking? Is it cleaning? Is it taking care of the kids? Is it doing business? What is it? Whatever it is, find it. I keep doing that. Also, meditation. Everybody has their own practice. Some people, just like me, we can sit in a corner, close our eyes, and meditate. Drink it if you got it. Keep hydrated. Just stay hydrated, peeps. So some people, they can meditate in silence, just like I can sit here for 20 minutes and just meditate, right? And it's a way of my spiritual hygiene practice. Other people, they need to dance. This is how they get almost disconnected from the voices. When I talk about the voices, I'm also talking about the voices that aren't yours. And I'm not talking about your ancestors, okay? I'm talking about all these spirits that are flying around. I wish there was that we had glasses that we could put on and we could see it. Some people are gifted that way. Some people have that gift. They can see spirits. Not all of us. And trust me, you wouldn't want to see it. But we can feel it though. There's a reason why melanated people experience music differently. There's a reason why we experience taste differently. There's a reason when music comes on and there's a rhythm that something happens within us, right? So you can be proud of where you come from, even if you don't know where you come from, okay? And a lot of us that grew up in the West, we are disconnected from our roots. So, Black Soul Tribe, it's so much bigger than what I can even put into words, but it starts with a tribe. And there will be a day that one of you that's watching right now will be sitting here next to me and we will have this conversation. We will be having this conversation. What is your gift? Why are you here? What are you supposed to finish that your ancestors started? Why are you here? Why did you incarnate in this lifetime with this meat suit? Why? Why in this family? Why? These are the questions that we don't need to have the answers to at the moment. But it's important that we start that practice. How do you take care of yourself holistically? What is it that you do for yourself? How do you keep yourself clean, pristine? And I'm not talking about the outside, right? These are the questions you may ask yourself. I also want to touch on something quickly before I leave you guys. What were your intentions for the week? Something that's very important. Whatever we do with our lives, it's about the intentions that we have, right? And I read a little bit of the book, The Spirit of Intimacy. The next time, the third Sunday of the month in November, I think it's the 19th, Sunday the 19th of November, I will read another piece. But last week I read a little bit about romantic relationships. And basically, the Western world has taught us, ever since the start of Hollywood, that romanticism is the norm. Think about this. Prior to Hollywood, romanticism wasn't a thing in the West. You got married to the highest bidder, basically. That's what happened. Your daddy, they took care of that. You know what I mean? They didn't look at your spirit. They didn't look at what fits you like African tribes do. They look at spirits, and this is how they match individuals, because they know if you guys come together, you will amplify whatever gifts you got, and the children that will be birthed from that will also amplify that African, that heritage, the ancestral lineage, right? But in the West, it was all about money. So daddies would literally sell their daughters to the person that was financially interesting for them and for their bloodline, you know? So it was all about the money, right? So Hollywood was started the beginning of 1900s, and all of a sudden it was about a romanticism. It was about, you will find this prince on the white horse, and then you guys will live for happily ever after. And we all got programmed in that motherfucker. We all got motherfucking programmed there. Doesn't matter what color of your skin is. We all got programmed, okay? And I'm telling you, it's not realistic to have one person fulfill all your needs. We need the tribe. And every single one of us has something to gift us. You know what I mean? So if you look at a plant or a flower that's growing, what elements does that flower or plant need? Not only water, not only soil, not only the sun, right? But we're talking about every single aspect, every single microbiotic is needed to make that plant grow. So consider yourself as a plant. And what is it that you need to grow and to flourish in this lifetime, right? This is the thoughts that we can have and cultivate, especially now that the fall is setting in and the days are getting shorter on the western half of the world. But if you're in Australia or New Zealand, summertime is happening for your ass. But let's talk about the western half right now. It's important that we are not afraid of the dark, because during the winter there will be less sunlight and our subconscious will prevail. So make sure that you have yourself in check. Make sure that you are there the third Sunday of the month during Selfcare Sunday. And I will see you guys next week. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter so you can receive this video early birdie. And also, if you have a question or you want me to talk about certain subjects or you have a dilemma, please let me know. And for my OGs, my diehards, my diehards, that's a really weird sentence. Like, die hard? Really? For my live hearts, for my pro-life heart, you can always let me know if you want to be part of the community. And I have something special for you too, okay? So let us close our eyes for just a little bit. Breathe in, hold it, and breathe out through your nose. Breathe in, hold it, and breathe out through your nose. Breathe in, hold it, Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being present. I want to thank the Most High. I want to thank our ancestors for being here and for allowing me to be a channel for this message this week. What is your intention for the coming week? My intention last week was love, and my intention this coming week will be fearlessness. How can I live without fear? Thank you so much. I love you.